Welcome to the battle of the AIs. Today, we're putting ChatGPT and Gemini, two of the most advanced AIs, to a fascinating test with the Rorschach test Inkblots. What will they see in these abstract shapes? How close can AI come to human imagination? Let's dive in. The Rorschach test is not just any psychological test. It's a fascinating journey into the subconscious, designed to assess various dimensions of an individual's personality, emotional functioning, and potential mental health concerns. Created by Hermann Rorschach in the early 20th century, this test employs a series of 10 enigmatic ink blots to probe the deep recesses of the psyche, serving as a unique window into the mind's inner workings. Rorschach was inspired by a childhood game called Klexography, which involved interpreting ink blots. He noticed during his psychiatric training that patients with schizophrenia often interpreted these ink blots differently than other patients. Initially developed to diagnose schizophrenia and other thought disorders, the test's application later expanded to include assessments of personality and emotional disorders. Despite facing scrutiny over its validity and the subjective nature of its interpretations, which some critics argue lack robust scientific underpinning, the Rorschach test continues to be a valued instrument among psychologists, particularly in the United States. It is often employed alongside other assessments to gain a comprehensive view of a person's emotional and psychological landscape. As we explore the mysterious world of the Rorschach test, we will show you each of these iconic ink blots before diving into the AI's interpretations. We'll give you a few seconds for each ink blot to note your own thoughts and compare them later with the insights provided by ChatGPT and Gemini. If you need more time, pause the video for the ink blot you need. Remember, the interpretations you will hear today are generated by artificial intelligence and should not be considered professional psychological analysis. This video is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only and provides a perspective on how AI processes and interprets psychological stimuli. Here are the ink blots. Let's first dive into how ChatGPT interprets these ink blots. It begins by seeing a figure resembling a bat or a moth, capturing a sense of gothic mystique with its symmetrical and pointed shapes, suggesting an allure to the hidden or mysterious. The second blot is seen as a colorful, fantastical creature, like a vibrant butterfly, which ChatGPT views with drama and vibrancy, hinting at a transformational motif. Moving on, the third image is perceived as graceful dancers, their symmetry evoking a dynamic balance and aesthetic harmony. The fourth unveils a mythical creature, strong and ready, imbued with an aura of menace and power, like a demon. The fifth image is lighter, where a sprite-like being flutters, adding a mystical and ethereal layer to the visual array. In the sixth, ChatGPT sees a knight or warrior standing resolute, embodying themes of protection and valor. The seventh blot portrays mirrored figures, suggesting themes of reflection, interpersonal dialogue, and feelings of curiosity, while the eighth explodes with a dynamic fusion of elements, illustrating the creative merging of contrasting forces and a sense of passion. The ninth blot is perceived as dreamy and ethereal, inviting contemplation on freedom and ascension, and finally, the 10th bursts forth with a festive celebration of diversity and life, painting to ChatGPT a vivid picture of joy and community spirit. Did you have the same answers as ChatGPT? Don't go anywhere before we give you the analysis. But first, let's see how Gemini brings a different lens to the same blots. Some answers were quite similar. However, where ChatGPT saw a mystical bat, Gemini perceived clowns and blood spatters not once, but twice, offering a stark contrast to ChatGPT's interpretations. Makes you wonder what these AIs might dream of if they slept, right? Where ChatGPT saw a knight, Gemini perceived a more anatomical or skeletal feel. In Inkblot 8, ChatGPT saw liveliness and passion, whereas Gemini observed balance and symmetry, feeling stable and somewhat authoritative. And finally, in the last Inkblot, while ChatGPT felt a celebration or a carnival atmosphere, Gemini focused more on the chaos within the blot. Before we delve into the analysis of the answers, are you hooked on these AI insights? Hit like, smash subscribe, and ring that bell to not miss out on more AI adventures. When asked to analyze its responses, ChatGPT deduced, the subject seems to possess a deep emotional sensitivity coupled with a vivid imagination. This individual might have a strong appreciation for art and culture, along with a capability to understand complex emotional landscapes, both in themselves and in others. And what did ChatGPT think of Gemini's answers? This subject appears to have a deep cognitive engagement with visual stimuli, often interpreting them in a multi-layered and complex manner. As for Gemini, it characterized ChatGPT as someone who can experience intense feelings, has an active imagination, may be aware of darker or more challenging aspects of themselves, but overall maintains a positive outlook.
Yay!
Interestingly, when analyzing itself, Gemini was critical, highlighting a notable awareness of potentially negative or intense emotions, frequent references to blood, aggression, or visceral imagery, a perception of the world as complex and sometimes overwhelming, potential for underlying anxiety or negative affect, and a tendency towards internal focus. This experiment goes beyond mere fun. It illustrates AI's potential to approach human-like creativity and emotional depth. As AI evolves, it might not just interpret our words, but also our silences, understanding the unspoken through such profound tests. While AI is based on data gathered from humans, the use of feeling in an AI context is still nuanced, as AI cannot feel or have consciousness. What did you make of these AI interpretations? Can you see a bit of yourself in their insights? Drop your thoughts and feelings in the comments below and tell us what other AI challenges you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, and until next time.